Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm super excited to share another really quick and easy recipe with you guys. This is one of my best sellers and I personally love experimenting with this recipe and adding a few different twists to this every time. So today we're going to be making cucumber brownies, and I know that sounds weird, but I promise you it tastes really good. The cucumber actually helps with adding a lot more moisture and texture to the brownies, and they end up being really yummy. These are also potentially gluten-free, so we're going to be making these brownies entirely out of oat flour. Now, oats are most of the times gluten-free, but they could have traces of gluten. So if you have a gluten intolerance, I would say make sure that the brand that you're using is certified gluten-free. Alright, so let's get started with the process. Now, all the ingredients, we're going to set it up. We're going to make the whole thing in our food processor. So I have this guy ready. Now, if you don't have a food processor at home, you can do this by hand. You can also make this in a blender or a grinder. Whichever one of the two you have, you can use that. It can be made by hand, but the texture won't be as light and creamy as it would be in a mechanized device. Alright, so let's get started. First thing we need to do is start preheating the oven. So when our dough and everything is put together, our batter is put together, the last thing you want is for your oven to still be cold and for your batter to have to sit out for a long time. Because the second your batter sits out, it's going to start flattening out. All the delicious air that we try to incorporate into that batter is going to start leaving the batter, which we definitely don't want. So let's preheat the oven and make sure that you have a pan, a sheet tray, anything, whatever that you're going to be putting your container, your baking dish on, needs to have a supporting system in your oven. So make sure all of that is well set up so you're not scrambling at the last minute. Alright, so we're going to set it up to 180 degrees. The oven is preheating now. If you guys have a Fahrenheit functioning oven, it's 360 degree, 350, 360 degree Fahrenheit. Alright, so let's start with the process. First thing we're going to do today is grate our cucumbers. We need approximately 1 and 1/4 cup grated cucumber, but we also need to squeeze out all the excess liquid, all the excess juice into another bowl so we don't get a very liquidy mess. I'm going to just grab my box grater here and we're going to get started with the shredding. These cucumbers, it's totally fine. Any cucumber should work. If you want to replace this with like a more easily available vegetable for you, you can use like a zucchini. You can experiment with any kind of liquid, more like watery vegetable that you have locally available. Set that aside. And we're going to move on to the next steps. Alright, so now we're going to continue with putting our batter together. We're going to start with adding all the dry ingredients into our food processor, giving it a little whirl, and then we'll add all the wet ingredients in there. So it's kind of like a one food processor, one bowl recipe. So super simple and easy to make. Before we start with that though, I just wanted to quickly correct myself that I've been calling cucumber a vegetable when it's really a fruit. So, alright, but any vegetable that has a good amount of water in it, any kind of like nutritious vegetable that you feel like you want to try and add to this batter, to this recipe, you can definitely go ahead and do that and let me know how it turns out. Alright, cool. We're going to quickly continue now, starting with all the dry ingredients. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be adding in here today is our ground up oat flour. Now, I just put my oats in a grinder until it turned into a fine powder, and that's all you need to do as well. I think you can also find this directly sold as oat flour in stores, so that works just fine too, and you can obviously make your own at home as well. So we need 1.5 cups of that now. I'm going to spoon it into my measuring cups rather than scooping it out. Right. Next thing we'll be adding is our granulated sweetener. Careful about it. We're adding our baking soda and our baking powder. So we need about a teaspoon of both. Add about 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and about 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We'll be adding a generous pinch of that. We'll be adding a teaspoon of coffee powder. We're just going to give this all a nice mix. Alright, so that's looking nice. Now we're going to add in our one final dry ingredient which I almost forgot, some cocoa powder. Nice cup of cocoa powder. Alright, now that that's done, about 1 1/4 cup. So it's going to get mixed up in there. I would still say break it up by hand before you start measuring and filling it in. Wet ingredient is going to be some nut butter. I'm using peanut butter today. Half a cup of that. Jar today. Then we're going to be adding 1/4 cup of plant-based milk. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. There's coffee extract. This helps enhance that richness and that chocolatey flavor of the. So now that that's all blended up and our batter is pourable, if you need to, you can always add a little bit more almond milk or even the juice from the cucumber that we squeezed out earlier. That can also be used to thin out the batter a little bit if needed. And now we'll be finally adding our chocolate chips. Alright, I'm just going to put that in there as well. And we're just going to give it one quick stir. Alright, now that that's ready, I have my baking tray ready, my baking pan ready. And I've lined it with parchment paper. Like I've shown you guys in one of the previous videos, what I like to do is I like to spray it at the bottom and then again at the top. And I cut out my paper to the dimension of the dish that I'm working with. Alright, now I'm just going to pour this out into the dish. 40 minutes, and that worked out perfectly for my batch. But if you're using a slightly different sized baking dish or tray today, then definitely customize the timings and reduce the timings or increase the timings accordingly. Toothpick here, and as you can see, there's a little bit of lift off, but it's very minimal. So you know that your brownies are ready. I'm gonna set these aside for 10 minutes and then put them in the fridge just to speed up the cooling process. But you can leave them out for 2 to 3 hours if you're living in a cooler city, and the brownies should come down in temperature faster. Alright, so while the brownies are cooling down, I'm going to make a quick caramel sauce. Now this is optional but definitely recommended. It's going to just elevate that experience of eating the brownies and enjoying the brownies. And it's super simple, you don't need to cook it, you just have to put it together. So I'm using 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Now I'm going to be adding 1/4 cup of my liquid sweetener. Just make sure that it's liquid and it's not. So yeah, and then finally we're going to be adding our coconut oil. Just a little extra dash to make sure it's all nice. And I'm going to add some salt to make this a salted caramel. Nice and well combined. And yeah, that's it. Now we just have to wait for our brownies to chill and they'll be ready to slice them. Pretty swirly pattern that I've made with the chocolate on top of my caramel layer. And now I shall be putting this in the freezer to set up before we start cutting our brownies into the portions that we want to cut them into, and mine's gonna be massive. Alright, it's time to put this back in the freezer. Alright guys, so the brownies have been setting up in the fridge for a bit, but as you can see the caramel layer is still quite runny, and I personally don't mind that, and I like having my brownies a little fudgy and gooey. So that's what we're going to be working with today. But if you want to set them up for a bit longer, you can. I'm just going to set this aside start loosening up the edges. So if you want to just grab a spatula and run it along the edges of your board. So the sides have set up a little bit more than the center, which is fine. It doesn't really make much of a difference. You want to make sure you're getting behind that parchment paper rather than in front of the parchment paper. Alright, almost done. Take your time with it. Alright, and once more. You can also use your spatula just to get a quicker, cleaner edge off. But I'm very happy with that. As you can see, I have one gooey side and one set up side to show you guys. So choose whichever option you prefer. If you want to wait for them to set up and then cut them up, you can. If you are impatient like I am, you can pretty much just put it in for like 20 to 30 minutes and then slice them up. And that's it, they're ready.